It was.
Did you get fired for stalking the students?
Never been fired in my life.
Watching them,
No.
finding out where they live.
That was part of
Giant man hiding in the bushes.
stalking people at night.
Shh, I'm hunting.
Teacher talk. We are English teachers. Teacher talk. We are speaking in English. Teacher talk. A little bit slowly. Teacher talk. So you can understand us. Teacher talk.
Hey.
All right. That is the remix of our original intro, remixed with a little more heavy sound.
Indeed. The metal is there.
Yeah, by one of our listeners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have one listener who's a metalhead.
Cool.
Were you ever a metalhead?
I've been to a Metallica concert and a Rage Against the Machine concert. So,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say I'm a metalhead at all.
Right. A metalhead is someone who loves heavy
Yes.
metal.
Yeah.
I was a metalhead.
Were you?
Yep.
Okay.
In my early teenage years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you also dressing somehow differently?
I was a skater.
Right.
You know,
Right.
skateboarder. So, yeah, skateboarding and heavy metal.
Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah, until my later teens.
Right.
Then I wasn't a metalhead anymore.
Okay.
I started to like girls.
Can't picture you as a metalhead, I have to say.
Really?
No.
Oh, all my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all skaters,
I picture you skater for sure.
heavy metal.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, Rich.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again for joining us.
My pleasure.
I am exhausted.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm pretty darn tired.
Uh-oh.
I had a long day yesterday.
Ooh. What'd you do?
Well, yesterday was our friend's son's birthday.
Okay.
You know, our friend
I think
Jay,
who
who
you're talking
has
about,
a
yes.
small eikaiwa here in Sendai.
Yeah, I often walk by it.
Step eikaiwa, great school, great
Yes.
teacher Jay.
Yes.
Anyway, he decided to have a birthday party.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 year old. 1, 2?
1 year old. So my daughter is about 4 months
Right.
older than his son.
Right.
And you know the rules. He came to my daughter's birthday party.
Oh, so the obligation.
Oh, you know, it's kind of, you know, I have to go. And I wanted to go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I want our kids to be friends. You know, Jay is ethnically Taiwanese.
Indeed.
And remarkably, he doesn't age.
No, he doesn't.
He looks almost exactly the
Yeah.
same as he did 20 years ago.
Well, since he got married, he's lost a lot of weight and he didn't need to, so he looks really,
Yeah,
really thin.
he's always been slim.
Yeah.
And now he's even more slim.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
his
right.
son turned a year old.
Okay, so you went to the party.
Yep.
Yep.
And in order to go to the party, I took the whole day off
Okay.
because, you know, I had to keep my daughter home,
Sure.
not put her in daycare.
Right. Which is a busy situation for you.
Yeah, so I did one lesson early in the morning,
Okay.
and then I was just me and my daughter. We're just together all day.
Right.
Something Ben taught me:
Okay, what?
get out of the house.
Okay.
You know, you want your kid to run around and use their energy,
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So then they take a nap, you know, on time.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
so I took Ben's advice
Okay.
and I went down to a large center. It's called Hitachi Systems Hall.
I don't know that place.
It's at the station just down there.
Okay.
And, you know, it has concert halls and all sorts of facilities.
Okay.
I took another piece of Ben's advice, which is if you have a baby, you can go anywhere.
You can. I mean, basically.
Yeah.
And you're going to get in for free or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
You can use your baby
Yes.
as a key to the world.
Yes.
So yesterday was really cold.
Right.
So I took her to that big, huge building to play. And I just let her go.
Right.
Go, play.
Oh, be free.
So she's just running around the lobby.
That's cool.
And a few times, some staff came.
Uh-oh.
Security kind of people.
Security.
And I thought, oh no. But they just said, oh, she's so
So
cute.
cute. Yeah.
I was like, yes. So I let her run around the main floor.
It's a ticket to do anything, basically.
Yeah, it's a free ticket to go anywhere and do anything. Then I took her down to the basement where there's a huge atrium.
Cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
That's beautiful, I'm sure.
And I didn't really know what that's for.
Yeah.
Apparently, anyone can just go there and play any instrument.
Bring your own instrument.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's this huge room, big round atrium kind of room.
Right.
Very high ceiling.
Right. Yeah.
But like anyone can go there
Yeah.
and play any instrument.
Yeah.
They're not playing together.
Right. That's also awkward. Were there people there playing instruments?
There was a lady with a trumpet. There was a guy with a flute.
Right.
There were two people with saxophones.
Wow.
There were a bunch of violinists.
That's kind of chaos.
Yeah. So these people were just all honk, bonk. Ding.
Right.
There's a guy with a shamisen.
No.
Yeah.
That's
going,
cool.
Dang, 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 dang. Next to a saxophone going. Dun, dun, dun. It was very bizarre.
The worst orchestra ever.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the worst orchestra
Ever.
Here, I'll show you. And I'll put the audio in the podcast.
Oh, you recorded audio.
Well, I took a very short video of my daughter, looking very confused.
Right.
In this strange place.
That's hilarious.
Normally, I put her down and I go, run,
Right.
go play. And she just runs.
Right.
And she runs up to people. She's not afraid. But when I put her here...
Yeah, she looks very confused.
Let me
what's
read it.
happening?
I'll just put it in the... You can hear the shamisen. Dang, dang, dang.
That's a weird place.
Yeah, it was weird, but it
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Anyway, she didn't like that room very much.
it must have been chaos.
Yeah, she didn't leave my side.
Yeah.
She was hugging my leg, looking around like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
all this stuff?
Yeah. If a child experienced something for the first time, it literally is the first time your daughter has heard
Yeah.
crazy music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
But I like exposing her to
yeah, of
things
course.
like that,
Yeah.
so that as you said, it's her first time, but
Right.
then next time people
Exactly.
have instruments,
Yeah.
weird sounds, so
Yeah.
maybe she's not.
Yeah, she'll know how to deal with it. She has like a memory of it that she knows where to like file it in the filing cabinet of her
Right.
brain, right?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we went there because it's been cold.
Right. A place to
Snowing.
go.
Mm-hmm. How do you deal with the cold, Rich?
In terms of my apartment, I really like my kerosene heater. It just warms the place up instantly.
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely works much faster. The problem is you get that kerosene smell.
Yeah, it's not a happy smell,
It's
but
also,
toxic.
unhealthy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I make sure to open the window and,
Ventilate.
yeah.
Have you always used a kerosene heater since you came to Japan?
Yes, I bought it the first year I was here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, and it lasted
Oh,
until
no.
now?
Oh, no. I've had a few. The winter of December 2022, I bought a new kerosene heater. And
So that was about a year ago. Just over a year ago.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
my old ones were, 5-10 years old. And I was like, look, this is a dangerous thing. I don't want to use them anymore. So I bought it successfully, used it through March, April 2023. And I put it on my balcony, not thinking.
On your balcony or like?
I literally just put it naked on my balcony.
Oh, no.
I didn't think. I didn't.
You left it out there
For the whole
year?
from April to November.
Oh, gosh.
I know. I didn't think. And it was brand new. It was brand new. And so I tried to use it just this last November, 2-3 months ago. And it was it started, but it would stop itself and then it would smoke come out. Obviously, I'm like, this is dangerous. So I
freaked you out?
Yeah, fire is not good.
Yeah.
And I was angry because I just bought it a year ago. But, I'm smart enough to know that, so
you put it on your balcony. You didn't even cover it with a plastic sheet or something?
I didn't. I was stupid. I blame myself. Yeah, it was completely my mistake. Obviously, I bought a new one because, obviously it's safer. So, yeah, I have a brand new kerosene heater that I bought last December.
Okay.
Again, 2 years in a row.
Well, hey, let's move on because we have got another question for you, Rich.
Great.
Here we go.
Shoot.
If you've got a question, anything's okay. If you've got a question, just ask
Big Rich.
Goddamn.
All right, Big Rich.
Yes, sir.
So our listeners are kind of interested in you. They want to know more about you. Mm-hmm. Heard from a few people with questions. Anyway, this question comes from a nice lady in Shiga. We'll call her Dr. Y.
Dr. Y.
Yeah.
Okay. Not Doctor Who.
Not Doctor Who. Dr. Y.
Okay.
Who, what, why, when, where. This is Dr. Y.
Why? Must be confusing. You're like, why, doc? She's like, what do you want?
Her name starts with the Y.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So she was interested to hear about your first experience teaching English in Slovakia.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
she wants to know, okay, you went to Slovakia, you had this good experience, and then what? How did you end up in Japan? She wants to hear the story about how and why you came here to Japan.
I always say 2 or 3 reasons.
Why?
Why?
Why did you come to Japan? Dr. Y wants to know.
All right.
Why?
Well, Dr. Y, as I've said before, I love to travel. And Asia was a place that I really hadn't been. So
Yeah, when you lived in Slovakia, you traveled to many, many countries, didn't you?
Yes. I think my grand total is 35.
35 countries.
Yes.
Wow.
So obviously I had my eye on Asia, and
You had your eye on Asia.
I did.
Asia, I'm watching
Yes.
you. Here I come.
Be careful. I'm gonna walk home, follow you.
I'm going to walk all the way to Asia.
I boiled it down
Chatting
to
with an Asian
Yeah, chatting.
until you get to Asia.
No, I boiled it down to Taiwan, Korea, or Japan.
As places where you'd like to teach English.
Yeah, and just more Western friendly, better economies that
Better infrastructure.
Yeah, certainly. And I just said to myself, well, okay, it's going to sound stupid, but this is the real reason. So I was like, well, South Korea and North Korea technically still have a problem. Taiwan and China kind of have a problem. And Japan, not so much of a problem. I mean, okay, that's just what I thought.
Right.
And
Yeah, well, you're right in that Japan has problems with the countries you just mentioned.
right, but it's
But
not.
they're historical.
Yeah.
They're not like active
yes,
problems.
yes.
It's kind of underlying
Right.
tension.
Right.
Whereas, yeah, South Korea and North Korea are like
They're technically still at war.
actively
Yeah,
having a
yeah.
problem. Same with Taiwan and
Yes.
China, right?
Yeah, the threat's larger.
So you felt Japan was probably the most safe or peaceful?
Yeah, kind of. And I figured Japan and America probably have a strong alliance compared to Korea and Taiwan. And I just mean more like also friendliness, you know? And then
You thought people in Japan would be more friendly to you than people in Korea for some reason?
not to say anything bad about Korea or Taiwan. I just thought, yeah, like maybe Japan and America.
Have this kind of long-standing
Yes.
good relationship
Yes.
despite a rocky beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. And
They've
then
been good friends for many decades.
yes.
Right.
Yes. And then the third thing is I majored in history in university. But my focus was American 20th century history, but the department forced me to take two kind of like minor focuses.
Right. In North American education, you
Yeah.
have a major,
Yes.
which is the focus of your study. And often you have a kind of minor, which
Yes.
is a kind of something you also study a lot.
Yes.
But it's not your focus.
Yes. And I chose Asian history.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. And I took a 1 semester long class on Japanese history, but it was one of those classes where it was like Jomon era to now, which is thousands of years.
so
So-
it wasn't very detailed.
No, but I did read some pretty famous books like Heiki, Tales of Heiki or something like that. And yeah, I learned a lot about Japanese history. And so I just thought to myself, like, I don't know anything about Korea. I don't know really anything about Taiwan, but I do know something about Japan.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
a combination of having taken a Japanese
Yes.
history class and figuring that America and Japan have a pretty darn good relationship.
Right. And then I just thought to myself, Japan is just so unique. It's just so different from other Asian countries in terms of it's an island, it's been separated from a main continent, and it was, as we all know, closed off for a couple hundred years. So it's very interesting. Yeah, so that's kind of what I thought, and I have no regrets. I love this place, and
Yeah,
it's
'cause
great.
You came and you never left.
Yeah, I mean, almost 19 years in a couple
like,
months.
This is great. I
Yeah.
can walk everywhere.
I can walk everywhere while listening to a podcast.
Now that's a great answer about, the why you chose Japan, but the other part of the question is how. Like,
Oh,
what was the job you got? Well, your visa, the process. How did you end up here, like with a job?
okay. There's a larger company operating out of, I think, Tokyo called Westgate, and they hire foreigners. So they were quite serious about the hiring process. I obviously just submitted a resume.
So they're like a recruiting agency.
They're actually a school that has a couple different business models. One of them is having relationships with many, many universities.
They're a school, like an English school,
They're actually also a school, but
and they recruit abroad.
they recruit abroad for this 3-month program where they send you to a university. So I didn't live in Tokyo. I lived in Saitama, Kawagoe City. But I was working at a university in Saitama, but I was working through the
So
AA
Westgate
Kiowa.
is the middleman
Yes.
that provides the teacher to
Yes.
the university. Yeah.
And they had quite an extensive interview process. They even had some like psychological evaluation
Oh, really?
phone call. I don't remember exactly what, but just basic questions. I
So
guess.
they asked you a lot of questions
Yes.
and checked your background.
Yes.
They didn't find your dark secret.
No, that I like to walk.
Like follow people home and find out where they live. Watch them with binoculars,
Yeah, actually, I do have a monocular.
a telescope,
Yeah, well, it's more
a
like
small telescope.
Yeah. So they send you a document, and then San Francisco has a Japanese consulate. So you go,
Like an embassy, yeah.
yeah, and then you submit it at the Japanese consulate, and kind of to my surprise, they're like, "Can you give us a police report?"
Yeah.
And so you go to the police station and they just give you this blank document that says like your name, your address, and then it just says no record, obviously, because I'm not a
Right.
criminal. You submit it to the consulate and then they give you some other document. So when you enter Japan, you're not entering as a tourist. Then I just arrived. Bingo, I was in. I had my visa.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, you moved to Sendai fairly quickly. So that means that job didn't last very long.
It was
Did you get fired for stalking the students?
Never been fired in my life.
Watching them,
No.
finding out where they live?
That was part of
Giant man hiding in the bushes.
stalking people at night.
Shh, I'm hunting.
Wow, your cat is literally opening the door
Yeah,
for
he can
itself.
open the door by
Holy
himself.
cow.
He can come in, he can go out.
Wow. Amazing. Anyways, okay, no, the company I first worked for explicitly said that it was a 3-month contract, and I was living in an apartment that I only had for 3 months. So
they provided the apartment.
yeah, the Leo Palace kind of
Leo
thing.
Palace, yeah. And they gave you a job only 3 months. It seems crazy that they would sponsor your visa and bring you all the way to Japan.
It was quite
And then
a
after 3 months, they tell you,
bye-bye.
thanks.
Yeah. So I knew I was getting kicked out of my apartment. Like on a Sunday morning, a representative from the company came
And you'd only had 3 months in Japan. So you must have felt like, well, I don't want to go home.
yeah. And so I was scrambling to find a job almost the whole
That's when
time.
you found me.
That's when I found Abe. Yeah. My current company, they hired me maybe 3 weeks before that whole contract ended.
Okay.
So I got lucky. And then
Yeah.
I
And
just...
you're able to continue on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember, my last weekend, I sent some of my luggage to Sendai. And then the last Sunday, just packed up and took the bullet train to Sendai.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you came to Japan on a work visa, probably a 1 or 3 year
long
visa.
Yes.
But the job, the contract was only 3 months.
Yeah. Very odd.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Wow. And that's why you ended up in Sendai. 'cause
Yes.
The job you found after that was here in Sendai.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been there since.
All right. Well, there you go, Dr. Y.
Dr. Y.
That's why.
That's why.
That's why, Dr. Y. The question has been answered. All right, guys. Well, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Big Rich.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Space Dragon, for all the music. Come and visit us on X. Visit us on Instagram. Leave us a comment. Leave us a listener question. And please do a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out. Ha, 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 ha. Staying alive. Staying alive. Ha, ha, ha. Staying alive.
That's the cadence that you do CPR to.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
When you're doing CPR,
Yeah.
and someone's dying and you're pumping on their chest.
Yeah.
that's the song you should think about.
Yeah.
Staying alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It is totally weird. It's funny, but that's the exact rhythm.
Right.
To keep someone alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bee Gees or something.
And here we are, staying alive. Have a great week, folks. See you soon.
Goodness.